I've been wanting to start a video for a long time. This is the shade garden that's alongside the driveway. Lots of hostas that I've dug up from other places, ferns. We have our turtle head, hot lips, that's getting ready to bloom in the next week or so. And we have Bigfoot here that my husband had to have there. And alongside the shed, this is a garden that I just installed this year. And we have hostas and azaleas, boxwood, little mauvet, hydrangeas, and we have Oakland holly and hostas, variegated ajuga, and golden mop. Then we have a standard tree form spruce that I love, that has a carex at the bottom. And like I said, we just installed this last week, so looking forward to what it's going to look like next year. And then alongside of the house, this is a west part of the house, very hot. And we have sunshine ligustrum, we have a burning bush, plenty of phlox, purple coneflower, we have our zagreb coreopsis, more coneflower. We have some yellow knockout roses, which I've just cut back, so they're not really blooming right now. They've gotten attacked by the Japanese beetles. We've got the sedum autumn joy, which is forming its flower heads, which are beautiful before they even turn their mauve color. We've got black-eyed Susan in the background. Goldstrom is the variety. And we have some cleome that has just seeded from, we don't know where it came from. Just blew into the yard. And we have the bird bath surrounded by lamb's ear. This is the variety Big Ear, I believe, and it does not flower. You just get the beautiful silver foliage without the weedy looking flower stems, which I'm not that fond of. And here's more of the cleome. And we've got this, another sunshine ligustrum. And we've got a variety of Japanese maple, which my husband picked up at the flea market, and I am not familiar with what variety this is, so if you can let me know what you think it is, that would be great. We've had it for about 8 years, and this is as tall as it's gotten, but it is finally really starting to look like more of a tree form. We've got more boxwood, and boxwood backed with phlox, tall phlox. This one is Laura, and I've just planted the lady's mantle down at the bottom. And eventually, once we get the gutters, we will be putting something taller behind this. But until we get the gutters, it seems pointless because the water just washes everything out. Then we're going to take you to the other part of the front yard, and we have more hostas. This part is very shady. We've got summer sweet, and which the bees absolutely love, and it's just about done blooming now. This is the first year that it's really put on some good height. And this is kind of my hosta garden here. Lots of hostas. We've got a white azalea that was beautiful this spring, and more hostas. Another white azalea, and then we have another summer sweet. This one I moved a couple of years ago, so it looks a little bit more spindly. It's just coming into its own again. And more hostas. We've got our lamian, which is one of my favorite ground covers. Just really pops in the shade. Another hosta. This one is, I believe, Patriot, which is really pops in the shade. And these ones here, I believe, are elegance. They're ginormous. Just love them. Love, love, love. And to the other side, we have a weeping cherry, which when we first moved here, somebody had cropped, and it was maybe about 8 foot tall when we moved here 5 years ago, and it is a bird haven. They absolutely love it. And so we have planted around this tree. This is little quickfire hydrangeas, one of my favorites. It's just comes out white, and now it's turning its kind of a mauve blush color. We have some hostas, lady's mantle, and some salvia May night that is done, that I have cut back. And we've got another cypress, gold mop, love it. More carex, and some more hosta, and another patriot. I planted this banana appeal last fall, and we had a really cold December, and it really zapped this thing. It's just kind of coming back. I'm not giving up on it. It does have some green foliage. You can see that at the bottom there's some dead branches. We've got some ferns that have just decided to grow here. They are a native species, which just decided that that was a good place that they wanted to be. And same with this. And then we have Japanese forest grass, which not doing as well as I thought it would do. It has not gotten much bigger than this. I think I need to amend the soil a little bit. It seems like it's struggling a little bit. And more hostas. We've got some more Laura and soft touch holly. We've got some still be in the background. That was gorgeous this spring. And we have a ligustrum, which has been in the ground 2 years, and it's got a fabulous form, but I've yet to have it flower since I've put it in. So anybody have any recommendations, please let me know. This is Blue Star juniper, beautiful blue color. And we've got some Creeping Jenny next to the soft touched holly, which is a nice contrast. And then to the other side, we've got some yellow cannas that were gifted to me by a lady that works for me, and they are a beautiful yellow color. We've got more Cleome that has decided to grow right here, which I do keep it in check because it does tend to self-seed and almost become a weed. So we've got our Leland cypress that we planted when we first moved here 5 years ago, and they are good, almost 15 feet tall now. I think when we got them, they were probably about 2 feet, so they put on a lot of good dirt. And we have underplanted them all with what I call ditch lilies. I've just cut them back. They just got done blooming their orange blooms, and I have such a massive garden that I just chop them down with the hedge clippers. I just don't have time to deadhead every stem, so, and then it puts out new green growth and looks really lush again in the next couple of weeks. So, and here we have our limelight hydrangea towards the front of the bed. This is my slope garden. Spectacular this week. It's just ginormous. We have a knockout rose that I've just, it's a red knockout, just sheared it again because of the Japanese beetles, and keep it in check. More hostas, some irises. Sorry about that. We live on a road that takes traffic to the lake, so we get a lot of boat traffic and sometimes some really loud traffic. Okay, and then this is a Bridal Veil spirea, and of course that blooms white in the springtime. And we have another limelight, which this is little lime, and I limbed it up to make it a tree form, and I've got a little stem. It's a little crooked, but we've planted a hosta underneath it, if you can see, and I think eventually once that fills in, you will notice that it's a little bit leaning towards the right there. Got some heuchera and my yard art, which I absolutely love, that I pick up whenever we go to Blue Ridge, Georgia. We love their yard art. This thing looks spectacular when it's spinning. And this is a daylily that I do not know the variety. One of my friends gifted this to me, and now I have it all over my yard. He gave it to me about 3 years ago, and one of my favorite daylilies. It's just, these are the last few blooms before it's done for the season. And we have a Cinderella butterfly weed, which has not bloomed yet, but it's supposed to be about 5 feet tall, so we'll see how that goes. And here we took out a big clump of iris, that was getting overgrown and had a lot of weeds growing in between. So I dug that out and divided these to coneflower, Magnus. And so I planted them a couple weeks ago. So they're struggling a little bit just because it's been so hot. But I've been babying them, making sure I water them every couple of days, and they'll be fine. More Laura phlox, my favorite, I have to say. And this is an Abelia. I think I'm trying to remember what the name of this one is, but I just love the light green, almost pink tips on them, and I don't remember offhand what that variety is called. And we have my Colette Rose, which is a climber, and it's really starting to take off. We had our first flush, and it's getting ready to put out another flush of blooms, as you can see. This is my mother's name, Colette, and my granddaughter's name. So when I found out that they had a rose that was named Colette, I had to have it. So, and we've got more hostas, more knockout roses in the backdrop, more Laura phlox, and we have a hydrangea here, which very beautiful. I just love this one. It's a late bloomer, and I cannot remember what the variety is. So if anybody can let me know what they think this variety is, let me know. And we have another Cinderella butterfly weed, or Acceptless. And one of my favorite perennials in the garden, the Coreopsis. This one is Zagreb. It's a workhorse in the garden. It blooms from late spring till fall. Just love it. And there's more yard art that I purchased on Blue Ridge. And more knockout roses. These are the second flush of Happy Returns Daylily, which is a definite workhorse in the garden. And we have more Coreopsis, Zagreb. And in the backdrop there we have phlox, tall phlox, garden phlox. That white one is called David, which is my brother's name that passed away when he was 48. So it's very special to me. I love David phlox. And we have the sky pencil hollies. And this is a crepe myrtle. And I do not know the variety. A friend gave this to me when they first moved here, and it's really put on some beautiful blossoms this year, and I'm very pleased with it. And beautiful Flora Petalin, which I thought died this season because of the cold winter in December, but it has come back and it looks spectacular. We have another Abelia and some white coneflower, some purple coneflower. Here's some black-eyed Susans, one of my favorite cottage garden flowers. And this is Bloodgood Japanese maple. Planted that 2 years ago, and it's really starting to put on some girth. And we have some more canna that's planted next to it. It's a beautiful yellow and burgundy combination. Really pops. And this is a vitex or chase tree. which I planted 2 years ago, and I just absolutely love this plant. It is a bee magnet. I don't know if you can see, but this thing is just loaded with bees. They just absolutely love it. And this particular plant takes a very long time to leaf out in the spring. Every year I think the thing is dead and that it did not make it through the winter. And just when I'm ready to give up on it, it starts putting out leaves. So if you have one of these or want to grow one, just remember, those leaves do not come out for a very long time in the springtime. And next to it, we have some more Black-Eyed Susan Goldstrom. A lot of these hostas are unknown varieties. I dug them up from the property when we first moved here. We got our plain Jane variegated variety that I have to say there's just a simplicity to them that I do love. And we have a little gem magnolia that I planted 3 years ago. It's really starting to put some height on. Just love it. And this little garden here, I just put in this year. So it doesn't look like much, but I just put it in. We've got a couple of little mauvettes there. There's a, oh shoot, I can't remember what the name of it is. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't look like much, like I said, but it will look spectacular next year, I believe. And then we have more hostas, some cranesbill that I just cut back. It was getting a little crispy. We've had some really hot days. And more Black-Eyed Susan, more Zagreb, and this Zagreb is just really blooming beautifully. And we have some more Laura. It looks so beautiful mingled with that Black-Eyed Susan. I just love it. So we have a pink variety of phlox. I don't remember what this variety is, but it's struggling a little bit. I think I need to give it a little feed. And got some boxwood. And this is all sedum, which is a great erosion control, because our driveway is quite the slope all the way down, and it does help. I've got some more phlox down at the bottom, which also helps with erosion. More Zagreb, and I just planted a row of hostas along the driveway this year, and around the corner here, this garden is fairly new. I extended my bed. This one is a peach drift rose, which is spent right now, but it will put out another flush. Some more purple coneflower. We've got some David phlox that I divided this year and put some more in. So they're doing well. They're just small because I just put them in this year. And more purple coneflower, one of my favorite flowers. And more Laura phlox. We've got some more ground cover, and just planted all these hostas. This is another rose that I don't remember what the variety is, but it's a very sweet, and I just cut it back again. It's just, it's getting attacked by the Japanese beetles again, and I try to do organic if I can help it, and so most of the time I just cut them back to manage it. We got more purple coneflower and black-eyed Susan and boxwood, and my little fairy. Again, I got it from the Yard Art, which I just absolutely adore. And this is a daisy. I think this one is Banana Cream. I believe that's the name of it. I just love it. It comes out white and then it turns to a kind of a yellow color. We got a little mauvette that I just put in, and it has not bloomed yet. And a purple Veronica, which you can see is a magnet for pollinators. And we've got another black-eyed Susan and some more phlox. This variety is very bright. I don't remember what the variety on this one is called, but and then we have our Stella Diora, which I cut back. It's just starting to put out new blooms. And another Laura Petalin. Again, this one looked like it was dead in the springtime, but it has finally put out some new growth, and I think we're going to be okay. Some more Laura, Phlox, and Unanimous. Looks beautiful up against the green hosta foliage. Really pops in the garden. And we have more hostas, and this is Wine and Roses by Julia, and it did not bloom for me this year, so I'm just kind of wondering if perhaps maybe I have it in a place where it has too much shade. I don't know. So it's under my crepe myrtle, and we've got more hostas, and another yellow canna that I just divided, and so it's just a single stem right now, but it will fill in next year. And we've got some more self-seeding Cleome, and that is a Spirea gold mound. I planted this year, and I planted this one this year, and I have to say they're really putting on some good growth. And there is my other view of the unknown hydrangea. I just love this one. I'm not sure what the variety is, if you can let me know. And we have some more Heuchera, more hosta, and Lady's Mantle, and Salvia. This one's like a light purple, and I don't remember what the name of it is, but I find it just really prolific. It doesn't get brown stems like the others after you cut them back. This one is just, I love it. I will definitely be digging some of this up and spreading it around. And we have, this one is some yellow hosta varieties, which I love yellow in the garden. To me, in the shade garden, it really really pops. And this is Bloomstruck hydrangea, and it's just now putting out some blossoms, which I have to say, it died all the way back this year to the ground, and so it had to put all new growth, but it is finally going to start blooming. This one is a big leaf hydrangea, but it does bloom on new and old wood, unlike other purple varieties of big leaf hydrangeas. This one, you will get blooms if you have a late frost, but it may take a little longer for them to come, but they will come. So we've got a rhododendron, another rhododendron, and this is the backdrop of, you can see my porch from up here, and my hanging baskets are doing very nicely this year. We've had a summer that was, it's been somewhat hot, but not too bad. We're just really getting into the humid right now. So, and more heuchera with some hostas, soft touch holly, more patriot hosta, and more heuchera, more unknown varieties of hostas, and this is a Granera, which is Jack Frost, one of my favorites, and we have another Abelia. I just love Abelias for their foliage. And then you've got the bonus blooms that come late summer, early fall. And we've got some more black-eyed Susans. And another phlox that's struggling a little bit. It has a little powdery mildew. I've been making a solution of baking soda, water, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of dish soap, and spraying that, and that seems like it's really done wonders for powdery mildew. We've got some rhododendrons and another heuchera. I just love heuchera next to hostas. I just think that they just really are a great contrast. And this is my red bud, and I have to say, I put this in 2 years ago. It was buried at the very back of a nursery. It got forgotten, and I looked at it and I thought, is that a little red bud? They gave it to me for half price, and it's really putting out spectacular growth. So anyway, that's most of my garden. We'll go into the backyard another day, but it's a massive garden and a lot of work, and I just absolutely love it.